Humanity is out of its collective fucking mind. I recall talking briefly about how humanity only has two genders, male and female. Adding on to that, we are also a sexually dimorphic species, meaning there are distinct biological differences between the sexes. Primary among these differences are physical stature and musculature. In general terms, men are stronger, faster, and more aggressive than women, due in no small part to the increased levels of testosterone in the male system. So when I come across an article talking about transgender people, I think, okay, if you really believe you should be the other sex and are willing to make the actual transition, take hormone supplements or suppressants, and act and present as the opposite sex, be my guest. But then I come across this diamond in the rough. Female track team welcomes boy who thinks he's a girl onto team. He's really fast. First off, interesting use of pronouns in this article. I'll get into exactly why I agree with their use later. Second, of course he is fast. He is a male competing against the girls. I am curious how much slower he is compared to other male athletes, but we can look into that later as well. Cromwell High School in Connecticut has welcomed a freshman boy who identifies as a girl onto the girls' track team. Andrea Yearwood, a freshman, ran in a competition against girls on Wednesday, performing extremely well with a time in the 100-meter dash that would have placed second in last year's state open. Of course, he performed extremely well. He is a male competing against females. When your sexually determined genetics code for more lean muscle, less fat, and stronger bones, it should be no surprise that you handily beat the competition whose genetics don't code for that. Remember, during your evolution, the males did the hunting and the fighting, the women gathered and cared for the young. There is a reason your bodies are different. Yearwood informed his parents, Rashawn Yearwood and Nogzi Naji, that he was transgender in middle school, reports Hartford Courant. He previously ran on the boys' track team for the school before getting permission to participate on girls' teams. So he is a longtime track athlete and he has been competing for a while. How did he fare against those of his own gender? In the fall, Yearwood participated on the girls' cheerleading team. The 15-year-old is yet to take any steps in his transition, but plans on taking hormone and puberty blockers and is considering a sex reassignment surgery in the future. And here is the problem I have with this whole situation, and why I have no issue with the article's pronoun use. He has done absolutely fuck all to actually transition from male to female, aside from just saying, I'm a chick now. He has every physical advantage that his gender supplies him while competing against the other sex. This is blatantly unfair and is exactly why there are sexually segregated athletic teams. Here are two photos of the guy. Notice his size compared to his female teammates. He is massive compared to them and all muscle. And I just have to point this out. He has a fucking mustache. Not exactly the most feminine of traits there, buddy. The young boy ran in a competition on Wednesday, posting impressive times, Hartford Courant reports. Andrea's times in the 100 and the 200 are fast. A year ago, her 11:99 in the 100 would have won the Class M title and put her second at the state open, 0.01 seconds behind the winning time. And Andrea ran Wednesday in cold conditions without starting blocks. She is expected to get faster. No shit. Of course your male track runner is going to be easily rivaling the best female runners. How about we take a look at the Connecticut high school men's track times and see just where our brave boy would have landed with his 11:99. Doesn't even crack the top 15. The world's fastest mile time for men is 3 minutes 43 seconds. For women, it's 4 minutes and 12 seconds. The women's time is 30 seconds slower. That's over 13%. Fuck, even the US military recognizes the inherent differences between the sexes and uses different physical standards for men and women. Yearwood also helped the 4x100 meter relay team place second.
Well, she's a guy, so...
Again, no shit, Sherlock. You have a guy on your team. She has just been a member of the team running hard day in and day out, said the girls' track coach, Brian Calhoun. Happy to have a girl on the team that runs pretty quickly. It is going to be a positive thing for the whole team. Is reality a thing for these people? I am sure you have many girls on your team that run quickly. He is not one of them. The boys' female teammates are also welcoming Yearwood with open arms. Of course they are. If they didn't, they'd be branded transphobic and ostracized from the leftist community they most assuredly live in. I definitely think she'll be an inspiration for people, said Sophia Ushub, a teammate of Yearwood's. I think Andrea is very brave and has lots of guts to go out in the world where it is not always supportive and positive. Probably an inspiration for more men to claim they are a woman and compete with the girls. If you can get away with it, why not? I am curious what one of his teammates is going to say when he wins a female-only scholarship for athletics at some college and she does not. Let's see how supportive the teammate is then. When asked about the issue of inherent unfairness of a boy competing against young girls, Yearwood's mother replied, I know they'll say it is unfair and not right, but my counter to that is, why not? She is competing and practicing and giving her all and performing and excelling based on her skills. Let that be enough. Let her do that and be proud of that. Lady, he may be practicing and giving his all, but he isn't performing and excelling based on his skills against comparable opponents. He is performing and excelling against opponents that have virtually no chance of ever beating him so long as he doesn't do any medical transition. Remember that chart of track times we looked at earlier? The best female time for 2017 in the 100 meters is 13.27. It is not fair to the female athletes from all over the state, and it is not right to allow or encourage this. If he is really transgender, put him on hormone blockers or supplements as medically applicable, perform a little surgery, and then let her compete. Most likely, without all the testosterone, her muscles will shrink and her performance will regress until she is on par with her actual ability as a female. Then it will be fair. The young boy hopes to inspire other trans folks. To do what? Cheat the system? Once you actually transition, then you can inspire others. I do hope I inspire people, but not only with track, said Yearwood. I hope it inspires people to not hold yourself back just because you're scared of it, or it is your first time doing it, or because of other people's negativity. Boy, you need to get your head on straight. You found a way to game the system. Good for you. Don't expect it to last, and don't expect the goodwill of the people you are cheating. Not holding yourself back and really accomplishing something positive would have been excelling in the men's league, not fucking with the bell curve in the women's. People are going to be rightfully negative towards you, and I hope you are ready to deal with it. Look, I have no problem with trans people if they actually have a mental issue and go through with the medical procedures to look, act, and present as their preferred sex. I do have a problem with people using a glorified mental illness as an excuse for, or in this case, as a way to game the system. The lowest circles of hell are reserved for fraud, thieves, and traitors. Via cum diabolus amici me.